Hello, my name is Manfred Fela, and I've worked for the Pueblo of Acoma Department of Social Services, better known as PASS. And I just wanted to talk real quickly about some of the things that I take care of. And one of those things is the Indian Child Welfare Act, which is also known as ICWA. You may have heard that term before. The Indian Child Welfare Act was enacted in 1978. And the reason it came to be was because it was not uncommon back then for Native children to be forcefully removed from the reservation and placed for adoption with non-Native families. And because of that, it was beginning to decimate. It was just a different way to decimate the new generations coming up, and it made it very hard for the tribes to keep their customs alive and keep their language alive. At Acoma, we'd be very proud of the fact that the Acoma people have stayed very traditional and have passed the language down. And because of that, that's one of the reasons the Pueblo is so strong. And we need to really utilize the Indian Child Welfare Act when, if you know that there's a child that was born off the reservation that's been in the care and custody of the state, be the state New Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas, wherever, we can get involved to help if there are family members that want to either take custody of the child and raise it. We have ways that we can get involved. Some of the things we do, first of all, whenever a child is placed in custody, because of the Indian Child Welfare Act, social services, no matter where they are in the country, they're supposed to ask the parents if there's any Native American heritage. If there is, they need to contact the tribe immediately or tribes and see if they qualify for tribal enrollment or if they're already enrolled in the tribe. If they're enrolled, then PASS would become involved in that court hearing. We would make sure that tribal customs were followed. We would make sure that family members were contacted and were located to see if they want to help house the child if it's a temporary situation, or raise the child if it's more long term. So first thing we do is we verify tribal enrollment when we get the notification. And then if in fact they do qualify for tribal enrollment, we'll actually intervene in the court case. And what that means is we'll monitor the court to make sure that they're following all the guidelines of ICWA and to make sure that tribal customs are honored and that the court would take them into consideration. By monitoring those court proceedings, we make sure that the family is protected and that the children are maintain a cultural connection, and that's very important. The way placement works in an Indian child welfare case is that we first look for family members, okay? And in some cases you have a non-native parent and a native parent, so you have two sides of the family. And it doesn't matter which family member the child goes with. If it is a blood relative, that would be the first preference, because the child would know that family member, hopefully, and then they would be a good fit for the child. Next, we look at tribal members. If, especially, in Acoma, if you know that the child's a member of your clan and they're related to you, and maybe distant relation, but they are related in some way, then we can make sure that you're considered for placement of that child. Then after that, if there are no actual tribal members available, then we would look to native families at that point. And if we can find a native family that would be willing to adopt or foster, depending on the situation, then that would be our next preference. And then, of course, from that point, then it would fall to foster families that were approved by the tribe. And the tribe has the right to intervene and approve the placement of the child. So we would have a home study. And if they're a non-native family, we would ask that they outline for us how they plan on maintaining the child's heritage while the child's in their home. These are a few things that we do, with the Indian Child Welfare Act. And if you have any questions about it, please feel free to call the office. We'd be happy to give you more information. If you have questions about whether a situation that you know of qualifies under the Indian Child Welfare Act of 1978, we'd be happy to answer that. And if we don't know the answers, we can get them for you and we'll find out. But the pass number is 505-552-5162. Give us a call. Thanks.